Dog? Are you scared? I am you.
Hey, what's up? I hope you guys are excited to see this recreation of the Taped Apart music video. If you are, then click that like button so I can see that you do like it. Click it, click it, click it, click it, click it, click it. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to see my face on your screen more often. If you don't know what this video is about, it's about this music video by Cream that features this lion dude. And I thought it was so awesome, I had to recreate it. So here are some example pictures that I used. I know these are very dark, but so is the music video. So this was what I had to work with. So yeah. Yo, what up? Pretty sure I already filmed an intro, but I'm not entirely sure. So I'm just gonna do it again because you never know if it's true or not. I'm not sure. So anyway, hi. It's been a while, I know. I've been very busy with work and like actual work. Work in which I earn money, because I don't earn money on YouTube. But anyway, so that's the reason that I haven't uploaded in a while. I'm trying to separate my time better, manage my time better, so I can film more often and create more looks. But until then, it's gonna stay a little bit like this. I'm sorry, okay? So the prosthetic itself turned out not so good. I didn't have really high hopes because it was my first prosthetic after all. But still, the plaster was too... well, how do you say it? The plaster wasn't fine enough, so it didn't really pick up the details that I wanted, and it did pick up some details that I didn't want, such as the crack, because my mold cracked. And the edges are horrible. They're freaking horrible. They're out of this world terrible. I know, it's, oh god, I look at it and I'm just like, but you know, there's nothing I can do about it, and I made it anyway, I filmed it anyway, so I might as well just put on the tutorial here on YouTube, just so you guys can see my process and just the beginning to the end kind of thing. So yeah, this tutorial is a little different than usual because it's like a tutorial, but you know, because the making of the prosthetic is also part of the tutorial, so it's a little here and there and everywhere. But I'm gonna try and create a nice whole video for you guys. So I think that was all. So yeah, once again, I'm sorry for the horrible, terrible edges. I know it's not the best, but I tried, so that's something, right? So yeah, without any further ado, I think that that is what I wanted to say. So yeah, hope you like it. Let's start with the preparation progress, because that is a hell lot of work and very important to show you guys. So I started off with my face cast. If you don't have a face cast, you can make one, but please do it safely, because I didn't, and things can go wrong when you don't, so do it safely. And I'm using this medium soft clay to sculpt my prosthetic, and I'm using some prosthetic tools for that, but also my hands, because your hands are warm, so you can melt the clay and just net it as you want it to. And I started off by applying the cheekbone prosthetic pieces, the eyebrow pieces and a nose piece, and all of the pieces connect, so I basically have one mask prosthetic. This clay, by the way, if you are going to clay a prosthetic piece, make sure you buy the right type of clay, because this type of clay doesn't dry when it's out in the air, and you need that because you're going to work on it for a couple of hours or maybe even days, so do your research. If I can, I'll put the link in the description where I bought mine. So the whole process of sculpting is basically putting on layers and layers of clay, modifying it and making sure that the edges are good and thin and soft. So what I did to thin out the edges, I put a little bit of water on art brush And then I just went all around the clay and over the edges and tried to thin them out as thin as I can, because the edges are supposed to be so thin that you can't see the crack between the prosthetic piece and your real skin. And thinning the clay down with water really helps to blend the edges. Alright, and when your prosthetic piece is all done, you can oil it down. I'm just putting my fingers in a bowl of oil. I'm just going all over the clay and the face cast. The oil is supposed to be a protection layer between your prosthetic, your face cast and your mold, because the mold gets hard, and when you want to pull your face cast and prosthetic out, you want to make sure that these don't break or that the clay sticks and stays behind. So that's where the oil is for. Because if your face cast does break, it's time to realize it was nice, but your days of special effects makeup are over. And before I'm gonna mold it, I'm gonna have to build a clay wall around my face cast and prosthetic, so that when I pour in the plaster, it doesn't go everywhere, it just stays nicely around the face cast and the mold. And for that I'm using the same type of clay. Building the wall was pretty much not the most fun part of the entire process, because it was a lot of work. You have to make sure that when you pull in the plaster, that nothing gets out underneath your clay wall, so you have to make sure everything is sealed tight. And then it looks a little bit like this. And then I mixed the plaster and poured it in, and I left it there to dry for about 3 days. My plaster was a little bit too gritty, which is why the prosthetic didn't come out as smooth and fine as I wanted. But yeah, errors and trials, I guess. Okay, so at this point I've got my sculpt almost ready. I'm gonna refine some edges and some other stuff after I got some feedback. And then, hopefully, I can mold it in plaster, so I get a negative version of my sculpt. And then, hopefully, if that goes right, I can cast it in a gelatin mix, which I'm gonna make. So I just went out on the search for the stuff that I need for gelatin mix, which is glycerin and gelatin. So I just literally got back, I literally just got the stuff. So here is the glycerin, nicely stuffed in a bottle, and here's the gelatin, which I'm gonna have to melt down for it to turn into a liquid, so I can mix it with the glycerin. So supposedly you mix the gelatin with the glycerin and add some water, and then, you know, you mix it all together, put it in the microwave so it gets hot, and then it turns into a nice but sturdy liquid, which you can pour onto the negative mold, put your face cast on top of it, and then it turns into a gelatin mask or prosthetic. So like I said, I just went out and got these. So doing special effects makeup isn't really a thing in the Netherlands, you know, not many people know about it. So when I got the glycerin, the woman asked if I had very rough hands, because that's supposedly what people use this for. And when I picked up the gelatin, the cashier asked if I was gonna bake a cake. No, I'm sorry, okay. So I stood there awkwardly and had to explain that I was gonna turn myself into a monster. Anyway, so I'm gonna refine my sculpt. Here it is as it is now. The design, the sculpt is pretty much done. It's how I like it. It's refined, it's soft. No harsh lines anymore, but the edges need to be better because they need to blend in seamlessly with the skin. So I'm gonna refine that first, and then hopefully the casting and the molding and everything will turn out like I want it to. There's a very, 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 very big chance that none of this works out, and I'm gonna have to crawl into a corner and cry. Alright, so I pulled through the hard preparation work. Now let's get to application. Start off with your face, because that's what you need. Doesn't matter if it's clean or not, I did put on a bit of foundation. I'm starting off with this super fat marker, and with that I'm going to elongate my inner corner and also my outer corner for this huge cat eye, because this guy has a cat eye, so I kind of need to have it too, so, you know. And I'm gonna fill in the entire lid with the eyeliner as well. Dude, my eye looks huge! I'm taking this black pencil liner and I'm gonna fill it in on the waterline. I'm just gonna run it between the lashes so my eye looks as black and big as possible. And because eyeliner is eyeliner and it cracks on your eyelid, I'm gonna set it with a black matte eyeshadow. Alrighty, now let's put my hair back so it's not in the way when you apply your prosthetic. So no hairs get stuck between you and your prosthetic, because that hurts. To apply the prosthetic, I'm gonna be using Spirit Gum. And I'm sketching out the outlines of my prosthetic with an eyebrow pencil, so I know where it's going and I know where to apply my Spirit Gum. So just apply that with the little brush and wait for it to get tacky, or just tap on it so it gets tacky faster. And don't forget to smear in your prosthetic with it as well, so both sides stick, your skin and your prosthetic. And then apply it super carefully because you want to apply it at one go. And just push down the prosthetic with your fingers onto your skin. My prosthetic was pretty heavy, so I was a little scared that it wouldn't fit on my face and that it would fall off, but hey, I did it. It worked. This is what it looks like from the front and the side, unpainted yet. And I tried to get rid of my awful edges with some cotton balls and latex, but I don't know. Cotton balls and latex, I don't know, it's just not my favorite thing. I think it works awful. It did not really get rid of my edges, so... But hey, it was a good try. This latex does dry transparent, so that's really good. And I just tried smoothing it out with my spatula so I could get the smoothest edges as possible. Oh my god, see, this is how awful cotton is. And to paint my prosthetic and my face, I'm using this Craftobian airbrush foundation. The foundation is too yellow for my face, but then again, lions are yellow, so it wasn't that bad. It was actually pretty okay. I chose airbrush foundation so you don't have to smear around the prosthetic or the edges so nothing gets broken or ripped or anything else. You don't have to touch the prosthetic when you're using airbrush paint, so that's what I really liked about this. But yeah, you could just use foundation and a sponge or a brush or something. To paint the nose, I'm using Miron's black aqua paint and a little brush. And to try to get some more depth and dimension, I'm using Miron's contour palette. So it's not all one color and shade, because your natural face also has shadows in it and different types of shades. So I wanted to recreate that. A little bit along the side of the nose. A little bit underneath my Maleficent cheekbones. A little bit on the brow bone, and I went in with some darker colors for this part because I wanted the eyes to be as dark as possible. And I didn't want to look cute, but nevertheless I looked cute, and this guy from the music video looked intimidating, so you know. A little bit of black around the eye, and I contoured my jawline and forehead so it was all a cohesive look. And I just went back and forth with some more grey tones or black eyeshadows or dark brown eyeshadows. I'm using Miron's black paint again to create the tattoos. This guy has tattoos all over his body, but I just went for the neck because my neck was just one of the parts that was actually visible. I also forgot that it wasn't mirrored. I should have mirrored my tattoo, but I forgot, so sorry. It just says 1998 if anyone cares. That was one of his tattoo sets, so I decided to recreate that one and some swirls around it. And to make it look a little bit more realistic, I'm dusting it off with a shitload of translucent powder. This makes the paint more mattified and more grayish, and then it looks more real. And that is the last step for this transformation. I know, it's not the best. I wasn't really happy or satisfied with it at all, but like I said, I still wanted to put it online so you guys could see. And I mean, I made it anyway, so I still do hope you liked it. And if you did, once again, don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye!
Back from the dead.